Good morning and welcome to day 15 of Vlogmas at Stitches and Slapdashery. I have my mixing bowl, I have my scales, I have my dried fruit, lots of different kinds, rapeseed oil, baking powder, walnuts, molasses, cinnamon, nutmeg and allspice, lemons and sugar, and my measuring cups and spoons. It's fruitcake baking day. Well, you are currently propped up on my kitchen windowsill, so the light's pretty good, even though it's kind of grey out there today. Just hope you don't slide off into my kitchen sink and get wet. So I just did a film of me mixing up my 2 fruitcakes that I'm making today. I decided to make 2 because I'm going to give a chunk of one to somebody else, and once I make fruitcake, we do tend to go through it quite quickly. My husband and I love our fruitcake. So I thought I'd just show you what dried fruit I use, because I like to use a mixture. I don't know if I look tired today. I probably do. I was up till about 12:30 last night. By the time I finished that denim basket and then uploaded the video and faffed about a bit, it was after midnight, and I don't do well with after midnight. You know, when you get to a certain age, your face shows every hour past midnight that you go to bed. Anyway, I did have a little lie-in this morning, so it wasn't so bad. So these are the ones I've used. I buy all these from a bulk food store because I think that's probably the least expensive way to do it. So I buy golden raisins. Oh, black squirrel. We have a lot of squirrels in our garden because of the walnut trees. So golden raisins, Thompson raisins, sultana raisins, or as we used to call them in Britain, just sultanas. More golden raisins. Okay, that's just a spare bag. Hang on a minute. More sultanas. Cranberries. And I think that might be it. Oh, and currants. Very important, currants. Currants are probably the main thing, but all of the others, they all add a different sort of depth of flavour. So rather than just use one kind, I like to use about 6 kinds. I also use whole wheat flour. Let me just go through the recipe here. I'll put the recipe under the video later on. So just use water. You could use apple juice or even black tea, but you really don't need any more sweetness in this cake because it's really sweet already. I used grapeseed oil. I used whole wheat flour. If ever I can use whole wheat flour over white, I will. Baking powder. I used walnuts. If you don't want to put nuts in, you don't have to put what nuts in. But I used walnuts. You could use pecans or whatever. As for the oil, actually, if you wanted to make it fat-free, you could probably use applesauce, which might cut the calories a bit. It'll change the texture a little bit, but, you know. Molasses, lemon, spices, and sugar. I used organic golden sugar from Costco. And then for the spices, I used cinnamon, nutmeg, and allspice. Twice as much cinnamon as the other spices. This nutmeg and allspice can get a bit overwhelming. So now they're in the oven for 2 hours at 325 Fahrenheit. And I need to clean up this mess. We bought some gorgeous new IKEA plates and cups recently. We've been using dollar store ones for years, and you know, they're pretty, and I just wanted lots of multicolored plates for a while, and they were starting to look a bit tired and a little bit worn out. So we finally went ahead and ordered a whole bunch from IKEA. So my main criterion was that we have some deep bowls, or deep plates, I mean. So deep plates that you can use as plates or bowls. So we got 8 of these. And of course, the colour is just gorgeous. And we got 8 regular plates, 8 side plates, and 8 small kind of dessert bowls. They're only like 5 inches across. Oh, now I've got a grey squirrel. Interesting. Anyway, it's not wrong about you being distracted by squirrels, right? And then we also got 10 teacups, because we had these ugly ones in the cupboard for years, and I always thought we should always be ready to have enough teacups or coffee cups for a crowd. And you know, I do regularly have people over to my house for knitting and crochet and stuff, but yeah, they were ugly. So now I have some beautiful cups that match my plates. So I'm really happy about that. Yeah, they're in walnut berrying mode right now. If we didn't mow our lawn for a year, we'd have a walnut forest, which wouldn't be a bad thing, actually. I think a walnut forest would be really cool as a backyard. As we're talking about baking, Christmas baking in particular at the moment, thought I'd show you my 2 jars of mincemeat. I made these mid-November, and I did take a little bit of film of it, but I never used it. I guess I should have done. I should have put it then, because this needs 4 to 6 weeks to sit in the fridge. And so it's been sitting there for a few weeks already. And this obviously will be used for mince pies, which of course are a British tradition and another one of my favourites. Basically a whole bunch of dried fruit again. with apples and apple juice and spices. No fat. I don't add any sort of fat to my mincemeat. I don't think it needs it. When you're baking with it, it's going into a pastry shell normally, which is already full of fat. So why add extra to your mincemeat? I don't know. So since Tuesday, it's now Friday, I haven't been drinking any black tea. They did such a nice job of getting the stains off my teeth that I thought, I really don't want to drink black tea and put them all back on again. And I thought it was going to be really hard, but it actually wasn't. I've been drinking green tea, which is actually really good for your teeth, and a couple of caffeine-free drinks, and I've had 1 cup of coffee in 3 days. I'm not a great coffee drinker anyway, but I think coffee's probably less staining on the teeth than black tea, and it hasn't actually been that hard. With a lot of habits, it's just the action of doing them that often it's just automatic and you just don't think about it. So all I've had to do is like go to make a cup of tea and actually just choose something different. This morning, I had a bit of a lie-in because, I went to bed late. And my husband's working from home today, and he had thrown a tea bag and some hot water in a mug for me so I could just finish off the making of it. And I said, but I'm not drinking black tea right now. And I actually tossed it in the sink because I wasn't going to drink it. Go me. I have a busy weekend coming up. I've got 2 lunches. One lunch is with ex-co-workers tomorrow, and the other one is on Sunday with my Veg Fest committee people. And I enjoyed my meal at that restaurant so much yesterday that I think I'm just going to have the same thing again. Right down to the hot chocolate afterwards. And seeing as I have plenty of time spare today, I think it's going to be neighbours treat making day. It doesn't even require any baking. This is super easy. A long, long time ago when the kids were small, many moons ago, because they're like 25, 28, and 31 now, we used to buy some treats from the health food store that were basically nuts mixed into chocolate and just set. So they had just melted chocolate, mixed in the nuts, plopped them on the baking sheet or some sort of parchment paper or something and let them set. And they were selling those, and I thought those are super easy. I can make those. So ever since, I have been periodically making them myself. And I just buy the Kirkland chocolate chips. I bought 2 big bags of them yesterday. I don't usually buy 2 at a time. This could be dangerous. But I didn't know how many I was going to use. So I got 2 big bags of chocolate chips. I got extra walnuts, and I have those cranberries, which is why I didn't put too many cranberries in the fruitcakes, because I needed to have some spare for these treats. So I just put the chocolate chips in a bowl over a pan of hot water to melt them and stir the stuff in, and then spoon it onto the baking sheet and let it set in the fridge. I will have to make a shelf available in the fridge if I can. So yeah, super simple, and then I can get them delivered around to the neighbours. And actually it would be really nice to do that ASAP, because I haven't spoken to my next door neighbour since I saw her mum go off in an ambulance a couple of weeks ago. I keep meaning to say, how is she, and I haven't. So it'll be a nice excuse to go over and chat. Not because I'm being nosy, it's because I'm being concerned. Yeah, tell yourself that, Nicola. So I'll just finish my washing up. Just a big mixing bowl to do. And get on with that. Maybe make myself a cup of coffee. I have the chocolate chips melting. I put 6 cups in there, but I feel like I might need to use some more because I chopped up 2 cups of walnuts and I've got 2 cups of cranberries at the ready. And I just feel like that amount of chocolate might not be enough to fully cover the nuts and the fruit. I may throw a couple more cups in. Basically going to use a whole 2-kilogram bag of the Kirkland chocolate chips, I think. 15 chocolate nut clusters right there. Another 15 are right there. And another 5 here, which I'm not sure where I'm going to put because the fridge is pretty darned full. It's beginning to smell a lot like Christmas. Drool. The Christmas cakes are out of the oven and the kitchen smells divine. The chocolate thingy-doofers setting up in the fridge. I have written the cards for my neighbours to go with their treats. Now I just need to do this. I think I'm going to put the earrings inside the little pouches. That way they won't get lost. Now, isn't this when it really, really starts to feel like Christmas? When you're actually wrapping gifts for people. This makes it feel imminent, doesn't it? Of course, I don't have a December 25th deadline for everything. Some things I have an earlier deadline for, depending on when I'm seeing people. What's the day today? The 15th? So 10 days to Christmas Day. 6 days to the solstice. Okay, who was that one for? Okay. One down. See if I can figure out a better way to fold this. Oh, and a pin would be handy for these, otherwise they're going to go disappearing off somewhere. I'm going to somehow attach these earrings to this coaster so that they don't get lost in the unwrapping. Now let's see how I'm going to do this. Fold the sleeve in, the collar in. It's not a sleeve, Nicola. What are you talking about? Oh, put that inside there. In the old days when I had a lot of parcels to wrap, I would just do it on the floor. way back when. Oh, now I'm getting myself mixed up with my post-it notes because they're sticking to everything. And I had lots of things to wrap for the kids. It all went on the floor. I sorted into the 3 piles for the boys and wrap, wrap, wrap. Now, in case you think my wrapping is slapdash, I'd just like to refer you to the name of this channel. Because, you know, slapdash is my middle name. And I certainly don't claim to be a very good wrapper. But it does the job, right? Okay, let's use this one. It says, Merry Christmas, my dear. And it has deer on it. So I think that will be fun. At the moment, I think I'm going to hold off on wrapping these other small piles because I have at least one more thing to add to one of the piles. And, you know, by the time Giving Day comes around, I will possibly have added more things to there. I don't know. Oh man, this is fiddly. Pin. Wow, I'm going to be wearing out my phone and my microphone today because I've been filming so much. A lot more than usual. That's good because it's fun, right? And it means more interesting stuff for you. So in that pile of yarn I received yesterday, thanks Rayanne, was a couple of balls of this colour. And the Vegan Knitters and Crocheters group on Ravelry is doing a Barbie Pinkaling. Not a pink-along, but a Pinkaling, but it's the same thing. They have a regular Zoom chat once a month, which I haven't managed to get to for a really long time, but this was probably one of the things that they were talking about on one of their group discussions, because there was a thread appeared about it a while back and they set it for December. And so I was thinking, oh, I don't know, I don't usually make anything with pink, so am I likely to even join in? I don't know. However, I am now inspired to join in because I have this pink yarn. And I think what I'm going to do is make a beanie. I found a pattern. I don't know what it's called, but I'll look it up again and I'll put the link in the description box. I found a pattern on Ravelry that is free and it has soft cables, like they're almost not cables because they're so gentle. But I wanted something that didn't have any hard lines. I wanted it to be a beanie or toque that just had a lovely soft look and feel to it, that I could knit up quite quickly. I won't be wearing this colour, but I'm sure I can find somebody who will enjoy wearing it. I just want to make it. And then I can join in with the Barbie Pinkaling. So I have this yarn at the ready. I have my knitting needles out and ready to pick the right size. For a beanie, I probably won't knit a gauge swatch. I'll probably just dive right in and then hope it works out. If it really looks like it's turning out too loose or too tight, I can always rip back and start again. Hats are not very large things. Not like a sweater where you get halfway through and then you realize it's not going to fit. And you've done a lot of knitting in it. A lot of knitting. I'm going to pop back upstairs now and pressure cook some black beans. The menu plan is bean burgers and buns tonight. I am defrosting the buns. I just need to cook the beans so that I can assemble the bean burgers later. Is that the right word? Construct? Make? Whatever. Oh boy. So I'm going to go upstairs, put the pressure cooker on, put my audiobook back on, which I have to finish today. Hang on, I'm going to sneeze. I have to finish my audiobook today because the library keeps telling me it's about to expire and I'm still not finished with the Iron, what is it called again? The Iron Flame? I've been listening to this thing for how long and I still can't remember the title of it. Rebecca Garros is her name, the author's name, I know that. And this is the sequel to the one I listened to before, which was Fourth Wing. Okay, I think I got it now. So I'm listening to Iron Flame and I am trying to get it done because I don't want to have to put it on hold again and wait to finish it till after somebody else is finished with it. So I think some couch time is required. Cook the beans, maybe have a little bit of lunch. Start on the hat because, you know, I need another whip, don't I? The only whip I have is that crochet festoon shawl, and I would love a distraction from that. So that's the plan. See you later. It's the end of the day and I'm just finalizing day 15 of Vlogmas. I managed to fit 5 of those chocolate nut clusters into each of the little mailbox tins, and I delivered 2 successfully, but the other neighbour wasn't in when I went round there after dinner, so I'll go around there in the morning, hope to catch her in. I did a little film of the jigsaw puzzle just now because it's coming along really well, and I think it's going to be finished soon, which I'm pleased about because the last time we had a Christmas jigsaw puzzle, we gave up on it. It was too hard. That was a long time ago. So I've cast on for the Zahira hat, Zahira Beanie it's called. This is as far as I've got so far. But it's a start. I'll link it down below. It's a cabled beanie. There's 16 rounds of ribbing to start with, and then a cabled section with needles 4 sizes bigger. So I find it quite unusual that I'm using size 4 needles for the ribbing and size 8 for the body of the hat, but hoping that means it's nice and snug around the head when it's done. Shouldn't fall off. I don't think I've got anything left to say today. So I'll say goodnight and see you tomorrow. Thanks for watching.